Okay, hello everyone. All right, so our next hero and villain combination that we're going to be doing today is going to be Nova. It's going to be the hero that we're going to be playing as. Nova is another champion character, so Miss Marvel and Ironheart were our other two champion characters that we've played so far. Nova is going to play around with wild resources a lot. His main upgrade in his deck is this Supernova Helmet, which is going to generate wild resources. And then he's got several cards in his deck that deal with wild resources. So this is an example where it says, if you paid for this card using a wild resource, deal 3 damage to an enemy. So he's got a bunch of cards like that where certain cards are going to be better with using wild resources and things like that. On his alter ego side, his action is just to go find his helmet, which I got lucky and started with it in my starting hand, so I'm not going to have to deal with that. And then on his hero side, his ability is after he uses one of his basic powers, you ready his helmet. And what his helmet does, like I said, is it gives him the aerial trait and then also lets him generate a wild resource. Okay, Nova is going to be an aggression character, which I hadn't mentioned yet. So he's going to have a bunch of these red aggression cards, like No Quarter as an example, which says deal 4 damage to an enemy. For each point of excess damage dealt, discard the top card of your deck and add each aggression card discarded this way. So this would be best against a minion. I've got the Bombshell Ally, which says divide damage from Bombshell's attack among each enemy as evenly as possible. So again, she's kind of designed to go against minions. And then I got Full Body Charge, deal 8 damage to an enemy. If your hero's remaining hit points are less than half your hero's starting hit points, this attack gains Overkill, which again, Overkill does stuff with minions. So I happen to get a bunch of aggression cards in my hand that deal with minions at the beginning of the game, which isn't going to really do much since there aren't going to be any minions at the beginning of the game, but that's all right. The villain we're going to be going against today is Red Skull. He is the final villain in the original campaign box, the Red Skull campaign box. His whole thing is that he does side schemes. So he has every side scheme in the encounter deck that would normally be shuffled into the encounter deck is shuffled into its own separate side scheme deck over here. And I'm actually going to just set that off to the side over here somewhere just to try to save some space. And then he starts with a side scheme in play called the Red House. And what he's going to do is his attack is 0, but it's going to be +1 for each side scheme that's in play. So right now his attack is 1 for that one side scheme that's in play. And then at the beginning of each of his turns, he's going to put a new side scheme into play from that side scheme deck. One of those side schemes is specifically tied to this Sleeper Minion card. So this is set out of play at the beginning of the game, and then will only come into play if that specific side scheme comes into play. So Nova is not necessarily the ideal character to be playing against Red Skull with all the side schemes. He is not the best at thwarting. He's primarily going to be attacking character. But that's just what happens when we're doing these pairings where it's just in alphabetical order. So okay, the first thing that we are going to do is we're not going to do his alter ego action because we already have his helmet in play. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the Full Body Charge card because I'm not going to be able to play all my cards anyway. And I'm going to play Endurance to give myself +3 hit points, which will bring me up to 13. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip over to hero form. And I'm going to spend one more resource with No Quarter to play my helmet. And then I will actually, let's do Bombshell instead. Then I will use the helmet, +1 resource to play no quarter, deal 4 damage to an enemy. Knock him down to 8. And then I'm going to use Nova's basic thwart. Or basic attack. The Red House's ability says when a character... Oh shoot, I can't deal damage to Red Skull. That's why I didn't want to deal damage to him, because I can't. Because of the Red House side scheme, it says that Red Skull can't take damage while that's in play. So I'm definitely discarding the full body charge to play the endurance. And then I will discard the no quarter to play the supernova helmet like I was going to do originally. And then it says on the Red House, it says when a character thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead of their thwart. In this particular case, that's not going to matter. I guess just to get the full use out of it, let's use the full body charge to play supernova helmet. Then I'll use the supernova helmet to play endurance. Then I'll thwart for 3 or thwart for 1 on the Red House, and when I use his basic attacks or thwarts, I ready the helmet. And then I still don't have enough because I can't do I can't attack. Force field projection is a defense card, and I only have 1, 2, 3 resources, so I can't play Bombshell. So I think I'm going to, for now, just end my turn. I'm going to discard no quarter since I can't do damage right now anyway. Then I'm going to ready my stuff and draw 3 cards. So I got full body charge, power of aggression, and soaring acrobatics. When an aerial character you control uses a basic power, and Nova is aerial because of his helmet, exhaust soaring acrobatics, the character gets +1 to that power for this use. That'll be useful for my thwart. All right. So then it's going to be Red Skull's turn. He's going to get 1 threat on the main scheme. And then after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. So we got Hydra Patrol. And that comes in with 2 threat. And that's going to increase his attack by 1. So he's going to attack me for 2. And I'm just going to take it since I have a defense card in my hand. So he's going to hit me for 2 plus a boost card. 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to use the Supernova Helmet to produce a resource. To play Force Field Projection. When a friendly character would take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent 3 of it. If you paid for this card using a wild resource, deal 3 damage to an enemy. So I will prevent 3 of it, so I only take 1. And then I did pay for it with a wild resource, but he can't take damage. So that doesn't matter. And then I get an encounter card for the round, which is Master Strategist, attached to Red Skull. When Red Skull activates, give him an additional boost card for each side scheme in play, then discard this card, max once per activation. So he's just going to get 1 bigger activation, and then that card will go away. Okay, so then it is my turn. I'm going to want to play Soaring Acrobatics. So I'm going to spend 2 resources from my hand to play Soaring Acrobatics. So when I use a basic power, I exhaust Soaring Acrobatics to give it +1. So I'm going to thwart for 1 +1. So I'm going to thwart for 2. And I'm going to get rid of the Red House so that he can take damage now. Oh, I think the side schemes go to a side scheme discard. Okay, and then since I used a basic of power, I can ready the Supernova Helmet. And then I'm in the same problem again. I have a 4-cost card. I have 2 3 resources to spend. So I again can't do anything else that turn. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to Power of Aggression and Full Body Charge. I'm going to ready all my stuff and draw 3 cards. So I got Dive Bomb. I got Nick Fury, ally. Dive Bomb says deal 7 damage to an enemy, deal 1 damage to each other enemy. Nick Fury, after he enters play, choose 1, remove 2 threat, draw 3 cards, or deal 4 damage. At the end of the round, if Nick Fury is still in play, discard him. And unleash Nova Force until the end of the round. Each time Nova defeats an enemy or removes the last threat from a scheme, ready him and draw a card. Okay, Red Skull gets a threat and a new side scheme. He gets the Sleeper Awakened. This scheme cannot leave play while the Sleeper is in play. When revealed, put the Sleeper into play engaged with the first player. When the Sleeper is defeated, remove this card from the game. Okay, so that was that minion that I was talking about before. He comes in with Tough. Okay. Then Red Skull is going to attack me for 2 because there are 2 side schemes in play. And he's going to get 2 additional boost cards because there are 2 side schemes in play because of the Master Strategist. So he's going to attack me for 2 plus 3 boost cards. Yeah, ouch. Okay, so I'm going to have to defend because otherwise I'm going to take way too much damage. Okay, so he is attacking me for 2 plus 3 boost cards. That's ridiculous. None of them have any extra damage on them. Give the villain a Tough status card and another boost card. Okay. Give the villain a Tough status card and another boost card. Exhaust a character you control. I can't do that. Give Red Skull a Tough status card, plus 1 damage, so we're up to 3 damage, 4 damage. He just had like 5 boost cards and did 4 damage. I defended for 2, so I take 2. I wish I hadn't defended at this point. Okay. Then I get an encounter card for the round. Oh, and then I can't remember if he would attack me now or not. I think he would. So he hits me for 3. Then I get an encounter card for the round, which is an Infinite Soldier. Normally for this encounter, you use Hydra Patrol and Hydra Assault, but I used Hydra Assault in the last video because that was the next one in alphabetical order. So today we're using Hydra Patrol and Infinites are the 2 encounter cards that we're using. So I got this guy. Oh shoot. I think I did this last time I played with them too. I think that they have a side scheme that has to start in play. Yeah, okay, so shoot. So that would have changed a lot of things. But that's fine. So they have the Gene Pool side scheme that has to start in play. I'll just throw that out. I shuffled it into the side scheme deck because I just grabbed all of the side schemes and shuffled them in, but that one is supposed to be a setup card. Okay. And then the infinite minion is better depending on how many threat are on the gene pool, and there are 4 threat on the gene pool. So if the amount of threat on gene pool is at least 3, the minion gains quick strike. So I take 2 damage. Okay, so then it is my turn, and I am going to pay 1/2 resources with the Power of Aggression, plus 1 resource from his helmet. plus 1 more resource from my hand to play Dive Bomb. Deal 7 damage to an enemy. Deal 1 damage to each other enemy. So I'm going to deal 7 to the Infinite Soldier. And deal 1 to Red Skull and 1 to... I guess I can't deal 1 to Red Skull. I'll deal 1 to the Sleeper to get rid of its stuff. Then, oh, and I have Retaliate because of the Sleeper. Having Retaliate. Oh man, this is not good. Yeah. I think that's all I can do that turn, and I'm gonna go ahead and flip to... Oh, after he did that big attack last time, he should have gotten rid of that. I think that's all I can do that turn. So I'm gonna discard Nick Fury. I'm gonna hold on to full body charge, and I'm gonna draw up to 6. So I got Pot Shot. Double the number of wild resources generated while paying for this card. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. Locust ally. After the Locust enters play, add 1 aggression event from your discard pile to your hand. Jesse Alexander. Exhaust Jesse Alexander. Shuffle 1 copy of your discard of Connection to the World Mind from your discard pile into your deck. Draw 1 card. And let's see. Honed Technique. When you play an aggression attack event, if you paid for it using a blue resource, increase the amount of damage that event deals by its printed cost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 more, 6. Miss Marvel. After you play an event, exhaust Miss Marvel and deal 1 damage to her to return that event to your hand. Okay, and then I need to ready everything. Okay, so he gets 1 threat on the main scheme. And reveals a new side scheme. New side scheme is Mass Chaos. When revealed, each player discards the top 5 cards of their deck and places 1 threat here for each different type of resource icon they discarded this way. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, I got 3 different types of resources. So that will come in with 3 threat. Then he's going to scheme for 2 plus a boost card. He schemes for 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. And then the Sleeper schemes for 1, which will knock this scheme out. The new scheme says when revealed, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. We get Hydra Reinforcements with 2 threat on it. This is silly. This comes in with 1 threat. Okay. Then I have to do an encounter card, which is Hydra Soldier, another minion. Okay. I am not going to heal. I'm just going to flip. And I'm going to use a wild resource from Supernova Helmet plus 2 more resources from my hand. Or sorry, 3 more resources from my hand. Ouch. 3 more resources from my hand to play full body charge. Oh, shoot, this won't work either. Oh my god. I am just not gonna win today. Like, this is silly. Because the Sleeper and Hydra Soldier both have guard, it didn't matter because he has tough anyway. Oh my goodness. I don't even know. This is just silly. Okay, I'm going to use the wild resource from Supernova Helmet to play Pot Shot. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. I'm going to kill the Hydra Soldier. When defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card, because you know I need more of those. Then I will now I will do the full body charge. Deal 7 or 8 damage to an enemy if your hero's remaining hit points are less than half. This attack gains overkill. So then I will also take the tough off of Red Skull. When defeated, remove the Sleeper from the game. And when the Sleeper is defeated, remove this card from the game. Okay, then I'm going to give Nova +1 to his thwart from Soaring Acrobatics so that I can take out one of these side schemes. Oh, okay, hold on a second. Man, I have got to... I'm getting overwhelmed by how many side schemes there are, so I'm not thinking about things correctly. I'm going to get my Supernova Helmet back and the Pot Shot back. Because... okay, so I'm just going to take my whole turn back here. I have an idea of how to do this better. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the basic thwart of 2 on Hydra reinforcements. That says when defeated, the player who defeated this scheme discards a non-elite minion. So I'm going to get rid of the Hydra Soldier that way. Then I will use the Supernova Helmet plus 1, 2, 3 resources from my hand to play the full body charge. Deal 8 damage to an enemy if your hero's remaining hit points are less than half. It gains overkill, so that'll kill the Sleeper and take the tough off of Red Skull. Okay. And then I will pay that might be all I can do. Yeah, I think that might be all I can do because both the cards in my hand cost 2 resources each. Yeah, so I'm just going to hold on to those 2 cards and I'm going to ready everything. And I'm going to draw 3. So I got another full body charge, another Pot Shot, and Force Field Protection. Cool. I was hoping for a defense card. Okay, he gets 1 threat. Then his attack is going to be higher because he's going to get a side scheme. Side scheme is prison camps. When defeated, the player defeated it, searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play. Okay, that starts with 3 threat. So his attack is going to be 4 plus a boost card. I am still going to defend it. So he's hitting me for 4, 5, and give him a tough card. And I defended for 2, so I was going to take 3. I will use the Supernova Helmet to pay for the Force Field Projection. When a friendly character would take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent 3, so I'm going to take none, and then deal 3 since I paid for it with a wild resource, which is just going to get rid of his tough. Okay, then I have to deal with 2 encounter cards. First one is the Villain Schemes, so he schemes for 2, 3, 4. And the second one is he attacks. He attacks for 4, 5, 6, 7. Which kills me. All right, well, that's it. Man, I just cannot catch a break lately with these games. Man, I won with Magic, but it took a while, and now I'm just like, man, I don't know. Oh, okay. It doesn't help that we did Nebula versus Nebula. Miss Marvel versus Mysterio was just not fair. Though I did find out after I played that game that I was technically cheating throughout that game because I was playing the pinpoint ally incorrectly. So even though I should have won that game and I didn't because Mysterio just hit me real hard at the end, I was cheating technically, so it was just karma, I guess. But man, I just cannot catch a break lately with this game. I'm on a bad losing streak lately. But next game should be a fairly easier one because I'll be playing against Rhino. Rhino is one of the villains from the original box, and he's probably still the easiest villain of all of them. He can hit really hard if you let him. So it's not like he's a cakewalk every time, but he's probably the easiest villain still out of all of them. So I'll be doing Phoenix versus Rhino will be the next game. So Phoenix versus Rhino will be next, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching.